Class, welcome to Marketing 250, Web Business Creation. My name is Brother Luke. I'm excited to be your instructor this semester. I think as I mentioned in the welcome message that this is a fairly unique class, and I hope you enjoy it. So I'm going to walk you through the syllabus. I'm going to make this as interesting and meaningful as possible because I know everyone loves a syllabus review, and then we'll go briefly through a course overview. So I'm going to pull the screen over here a little bit. We are in Canvas. If you have not used Canvas before, you'll notice the navigation over here on your left. If you go to courses right here in this icon and click on Marketing 250, it will give you these options where you'll have the home button, announcements, syllabus, modules. That's really where we're going to stay for the most part. I do use announcements heavily. I'll post a weekly screencast that walks through everything. The syllabus is accessible here, and then the modules are really where you'll find your weekly assignments. So if I can pull this back over, let's go over the syllabus. I'll let you read through most of this yourself. I'm not going to go through. I'm going to try and hit the high points because otherwise this would be a very, very long video, and I don't need to read a document that you can read yourself. So I'm going to try and hit the high points, but please do read course description. The required materials, I'll make a note on this. There is no textbook for this class. However, please make sure you have funds available for a website and domain name and a Google AdWords campaign. So I suggest students keep about $100. We do try and find some cost savings in there, but you do want to have about $100 available for the course. That is in lieu of a textbook, so there's no textbook required, but in place of that, please do have some funds available for those things. Course objectives, really it's about developing and running a business. We won't get too deep into any one aspect, but we will touch on finance, business planning, legal business creation. We'll touch on marketing, online marketing heavily, obviously. So a lot of different aspects of the business, but it's at a basic level on all of those things. So if you don't have experience in building a website or developing a business, that's great. You're taking the right course, because this course is meant to take you from a beginner's level understanding to a functioning online business owner. Basic expectation and time commitment, I'll brush over those, but again, I recommend you read them. Course structure, I'm just going to touch on some of the topics as I mentioned. This goes through choosing a business, creating a product, site building, site design, legal structure, and then we do a lot on marketing and search engine optimization. Again, the course is designed to take you from little to no knowledge of these topics to a functioning business owner. So if you look through there and think, oh my goodness, I can't do all of that, or I don't have experience in it, that's okay. This course is designed to take you from 0 to 60 in a fairly short time frame. Due date patterns, you'll fall into this pattern as we get started. Not really in week 1, but starting in week 2. You'll have a prepare activity, which is just your first assignment, your first discussion board initial post. Midweek, you need to finish up 2 other posts for that discussion board, a second assignment, start a second discussion board. End of the week, you'll wrap up that discussion board and do a weekly reflection. That's what happens just about every week in the course, and so you'll fall into that rhythm fairly quickly. And then you'll have these projects mixed in. I'll go through the projects individually throughout the course, so I won't spend a lot of time on them here, except I will say Project 1 and Project 2 require a lot of time, so start on those early. Those are time intensive. Projects 3 through 5, not so much. Obviously, they'll still take some of your time and effort, but not like Project 1 and 2. That's where we're really doing the heavy lifting of getting the business going. You'll see the grading scale here, point distribution. Note the discussion boards are weighted heavily as are projects and assignments. So that's really where you'll get the bulk of the assignments. But there's so many discussion boards and required posts, it's easy for students to forget about that. Please do remember that's an easy way to get a big chunk of your grade in the course. Late work policy. There's no late work accepted more than a week late. So you've got 1 week after the due date to turn it in. Anything 1 minute after the due date is marked down by 20%. whether it's turned in 1 minute after the due date or 6 days and 23 hours after the due date, it's all marked down 20%. Participation, this really is focused a lot on discussion boards. I was actually going to pass over this, but I changed my mind last minute. I do want to hit on this. Discussion board posts, you're required to make 3 posts, 1 initial post and then 2 replies to your classmates. They need to be significant in order to get points. Significant means 4 sentences in length, and contains information and comments that contribute to the conversation. So think about that. I'll run into this a lot and try and give you guys feedback throughout the first couple weeks on what's significant, what's not. And it's easy for students to forget, and they think, oh, I posted, so there's credit there. But if your post is okay, thanks, or hey, that's a great thought, and that's it, then it's not going to gain you points for participating. You've got to make a meaningful contribution in those discussion board posts. This is information I will review during my weekly screencasts, especially to start the semester. And then I'll let you read through the university policies. So that's it. I hope that gives you a good feel for the syllabus. Below the syllabus, you will see a course summary where it just goes through the information about the topics, the individual assignments we are going to do every week, and so you can see in a little bit more detail what we're going to cover. My weekly screencast will cover this content. So I'll post one at the beginning of next week about week 1, which is really just about the icebreaker discussion and going through a syllabus quiz. And then week 2 we start into that same pattern that I mentioned above, where you've got a business model, an idea generation assignment, and discussion board to start things off. Then you've got demand and competition assignment and discussion board. And then you'll have a reflection at the end of the week. Week 2, you'll also get started on project 1, which again is one of those big ones. So I go through, that's what I'll cover in my weekly screencasts. I highly recommend you watch them. You may feel like you understand the material pretty well by the time the screencast comes out. I do try and post them the Saturday before the week starts. But nonetheless, yeah, I think it's very helpful to take time. Sometimes I'll give some added information that you won't always catch in the basic assignment instructions. So I try and make them valuable. I also try and make them short and to the point. You'll notice my week 1 or week 2, sometimes week 3 are fairly lengthy in the 10 to 12 minute range. And then once we get through kind of the basic structure of the course, weeks 4 and on, I try and keep a little bit shorter to the point, kind of the 5 minute to 7 minute range. I'm trying to be respectful of your time and strike a balance between giving you meaningful information on here as well as respecting the time it takes to deliver that information. So that's it for our course syllabus and overview. Please reach out if you have any questions I can answer. And I will try and post more information as it comes online. Look for a screencast beginning of next week for week 1 information, and we will go from there. It is exciting to have you in the course. There's nothing like starting a new semester. I've taught this class for a number of years, and I'm looking forward to another great semester with everyone.